Tom has been kind of famous, right, in the past for having some of the fastest games in MAG1. I think every single one of his games ended on round 6 most of the time. So we could be in for a short one in this second best of one.
Yeah, for sure. Don't know if that'll continue, especially against somebody as good as Scion, but you never know. Maybe he'll be back to just completely owning.
Well, it could be, you could also lose in 6 rounds.
Yeah, it just has to end in 6. He'll be famous either way.
Exactly, yeah. Anyway, we've got the starter packs. Anything to your liking?
Maybe quick supplier typhoon. Ooh, cost control though. Okay. Missile. Missile's cool to see.
Somewhat surprised about these pack takes. I mean, Scion opting to go for Storm, maybe he knows that Agri really does like to play a long range game as well. So if you've got some good intel on that, I think Storms are still good in long range fights, but 4100 hit points. I think cost control did receive a bit of a nerf with the recent patch, lost another 100 on the opener.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, they're played really fast. What the heck? I was not
They know their
expecting that.
setups. They know what they like. Arclights in front of the towers, Stormcallers in between, Crawlers behind, Bish Bash
Yep,
Bosh.
for sure. They're like, bring on round 2. I'm already ready.
I'm ready to buy my ranged Darklights on round 3. We can fast forward.
Let's see if the sledges get the win, because they normally do against Stormcallers, but I've seen anything happen, so.
And these are cost control storms, mind you, so the damage might be lacking.
Yeah, it's kind of close, but I think the sledges got it.
It's a close affair, but yeah, round 1 will be going over to Agri. And again, both players here, not a lot of hit points, so
Yeah, here come the missiles. Of course, really good against the Stormcallers, and Scion didn't really make his army immune to it. Like, you can get the crawlers as well. It's pretty juicy.
wow. Both players picking up that marksman so quick there. I mean, level 3 marksman. I guess they're both just playing, well, they're starter specialists and marksman specialists as well now.
True. Look at this missile strike. That is so insane. It hits everything there.
Do you ever go for like a tempo shield because you're cost control?
I guess because your cost control, sure. I played a game today where I took advanced shield and shielded it, and like it did not feel good. Like, it even lived, but then I lost it the turn after. So I don't know.
I think like you could do it. The only scary, well, you know that Agri doesn't really have much DPS. He does go for it. The only thing is the marksman is on that side. So if the shield goes down, it'll have to be because of the orange man.
Yeah, that's true. So was there a reason that he chose to bubble right and missile right, or was it just 50-50?
I think he bubbled right because of the marksman is there and the fangs. So for Scion it made sense, but for
Yes.
Agri it was just a 50-50.
Okay. Well, very interesting how that played out. I'm sure Scion's very happy about that. Hopefully the bubble lives for his sake, but the orange man is there.
I think he should be fine. I mean, some of these units are walking out, which means that the marksman won't be shooting at the shield too much.
Yeah, for sure.
Takes out an arc light, but the fangs are moving in, and the arc light for Agri has been locked onto the enemy arc. So this chaff
Ooh.
could prove to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, that's huge. Okay. And he only used one missile, right? So now the other one is still there.
But does Scion now go for the second shield on the left side?
That would be crazy. Maybe.
Like, I think as cost control, like, you can be fine here, and Agri kind of has to buy something
Yeah,
to
yeah.
deal with the shields. Maybe some Stormcallers?
Yeah, it's a really good point you're raising about cost control. Maybe it's like good against missile spec.
I think typically on cost control, you'll take spells wherever you can,
There it
and,
is.
well, why not buy more shields? Yeah. Second one shows up, range on the arc lights as well. Agri, only 400 resources left. Went for the Rhino drop, both of them using it aggressively, but both of them, well, I guess Agri here might have a little bit more success. Scion running into a lot of chaff on the top right.
For sure here. Yeah, the arc lights with the range is also a big difference here. I think it could be a pretty good power spike here for Scion.
Yeah, this is classic cost control stuff. Like the amount of money has just allowed him to get into basically what is a mirror board faster. Already has that range on the arcs, already had the storms, which Agri had to pick up, but it means he doesn't have the money to match the range.
Yeah, 100%. You can see the Rhino fell way faster there. This
Yeah,
Rhino is still causing issues.
those outside storms did fantastic, and well, the Rhino is kind of getting pulled around there from Agri, but may be able to get to the tower.
Will this bubble live again? What if both bubbles live? Now, there's no way, right?
I think they will. I mean, the left one probably will just because the Rhino gets in and kills everything. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So one bubble falling. Both missiles should be on cooldown now. So kind of weathering the storm pretty well, I think.
I mean, that's a good round from Agri. Yeah. One bubble. Both of you went for the Rhino drop, and it was completely unsuccessful for the opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some big spells here. There's nothing really to hit, but man, Orbital Jav, such a
Yeah.
strong spell typically.
Yeah, you love that spell.
200 cost with a 3-round cooldown. Sign me up.
Whoa, 4 storms? That's a lot of storms.
That is a lot of storms. Yeah, this is bringing me back. This is the board the way it looked like 1.5 years ago, pretty much in standard.
Yeah, for sure. Even levels them up. Kind of crazy. Not fearing anti-missiles, whether that's from like Mustangs or just buying them manually. He doesn't care.
Perhaps Scion here taking some notes from Flower Fairy, because I don't know if we mentioned this, but Fairy has a very high win rate with arcs and storms. So maybe, just maybe, this is the way that Scion has managed to climb up the leaderboard so much.
Yeah, it's actually a good point. I mean, we should be taking notes because this guy is on fire. Lots of damage on the board, that's for sure. Not lacking basically anything at this point. I mean, he's got the Arclight range for the fast 2 turns now. Tons of storms, still has the tempo bubble. Fangs are now done trickling in, so just the storms left. So maybe he'll fall prey to a few pesky fangs here.
Looks like the storm should win, and at least the shield on the left side will survive.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Shield living already sort of a win. It tanked a bunch too, so just huge value here. I'm not really sure who's scaling better. I suppose cost control is on a bit of a clock, but I don't know. Missile strike doesn't really give you too much long-term value either.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think the money will always be somewhat useful, and for
Mm-hmm.
now, they're still in the process of setting up. I think both of them have a lot of options in terms of units they can add and text they can click, so I
Yeah.
think Scion here isn't in too much trouble.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And he's got some nice Arclight levels here. Now he goes for the Wasp, and Agrypnocoma goes for the Steel Balls. I think the Steel Balls are an interesting choice. I think it is noteworthy that they're fast, so that the Stormcallers will miss a lot of their shots. And the Arclights may just not have enough DPS to kill them.
It's an interesting way to approach it, right? Because both players here trying to play into a potential problem from the other, where Agri says, your board is low DPS, so I'm going to go for the fast units that kind of dodge the Stormcallers and, well, are tanky and hard to deal with for you. Whereas Scion says, well, your anti-air isn't that great, so I'm going to opt to go for the Wasps.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. Maybe noteworthy that the Steel Balls also are really good against the shields that have been constantly purchased. We'll have to see if they can get those connections or not.
Missile Strike on the outside here looks to hit a newly bought Fang pack as well. I think Agri this time around will be quite happy with his
Yeah,
targeting.
that's a beautiful missile strike. Going to be pretty big impact. I mean, of course, there's still lots of Stormcallers and Fangs, so it's not like the end of the world, but I think he'll notice that. Also, temp speed here for Agrypnocoma. That's a really cool move.
Yeah, temp speed, and we're playing some Steel Ball Stang here in standard. That's another throwback from 1.5 years ago. Love what
For
I'm
sure.
seeing.
And that's got to be for the missile interception, I have to say. I mean, the Wasp maybe as well. Maybe he's like, Wasp was offered, right?
Oh, you do raise a good point. Yeah. I mean, they did nerf the missile intercept slightly with the recent patch, but I still think it's quite powerful. I've seen lots of people trying to play that.
Yeah, 100%. Should still be very, very strong. Look at these steel balls, by the way. Level 2 steel balls with temp speed this early is just a nightmare. This might be the end of the standard portion of this game. Like, I think it might just be temp speed from here on out and like tempo units here for Grip Nakoma.
It could be. I'm always a little bit hesitant when it comes to playing this type of standard comp because Scion can just buy some units to deal with this, right? I mean, Scorch Vulcan, maybe you grab yourself some Scorpions, I don't know, maybe you pick up some Phoenixes or whatever
Even
you have,
hackers.
hackers, charge shot Arclights, like
Yeah, yeah.
you've got some options.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be really interesting to see what the answer is because you do need an answer, right? And he has tons of money, by the way. 1,600. Like, he can do whatever the heck he wants. So we'll have to see. Steel Ball picks up a level 3 now.
That is surprising. It's not that easy to level up steel balls instantly, especially from 2 to 3, so surprised to see that. Range picked up on the Mustangs as well, which all leveled, and we're gonna go for Scorpion as probably the highest tempo response.
For sure. They do not one-shot the level 3. They do
I don't
one-shot
think.
the level 2, barely, for now.
Oh, that is very close. I thought maybe there'd be a cost control breakpoint here, but not quite.
Yeah, not quite. We'll see if the level 3 ball can be an issue. He did click temp speed again. So, yeah, it's going to be a very aggressive push once again. He's also switching up his missile strike, going for the other side, maybe trying to keep Scion guessing. By the way, the oil is huge here. I forget if we mentioned it or not, but this is a super strong play, especially with the Scorpions.
Yeah, you don't even need to light this on fire.
No.
I think the 2-round slow here will be great. The thing is, Agri hasn't invested into the steel balls, right? No techs have been picked up, so he could just sell out of it and then try to play the long range fight, which typically doesn't favor Scorpion. Although Scion does run siege mode, and I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that tech being clicked.
Yeah, like Capucci was using it a lot in the MAG1, and yeah, some players just like it.
Man, no shields, by the way, this time around. That is a juicy missile on the right side, getting rid of a Stormcaller and a Fang Pack.
Yeah, for real. Let's see how the oil does. I mean, temp speed helps you get through it. There still is some, but oof, that salvo completely insane. And the balls are basically dead now.
Yeah, balls have been dealt with, but in the meantime, there isn't much in terms of arc lights left for Scion. So these Mustangs slowly getting through the oil, I think will manage to get to tower. That's going to be a round win for Agri.
Wow, impressive. Right through the oil. That says something.
Yeah, that is. I mean, he deals almost 1,000 damage here too, and he now knows that Scion wants to go into Scorpion, right? Tech them as well.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, Scion's already at 1,600, and he hasn't lost a single game this whole tournament.
And there
Bounty
we
of
go.
4.
Oh yeah, the performance has been through the roof, and like we said, Steel Ball, the level 3 now been sold, improved firepower control system picked up, thrown onto a Mustang, and we're beaconing the Steel Balls to the right side of the board,
Wow.
hopefully trying to mitigate the Scorpions that have been purchased on the left side.
What a great play. Just completely switching to sort of like a long range battle here. Like the marksmen get the range, the elite marksmen take on the arc lights, and then staying away from the oil. I mean, this is just putting on a clinic. Let's see if he temp speeds again, because he did go for temp range. Maybe he is slowing things down.
And elite Arclights, by the way, picked up again. I mean, we just saw a game where that paid off dividends for
For
Flower
sure.
Fairy, and we are seeing a bit of a trend here.
Yeah, I mean, people noticed how good it is that, oh my gosh, this Stormcaller is insane. This commitment,
Range
double
and
tech,
overload. Oh
that's like
boy.
$700, right?
It's not cheap, no.
Wow. Okay.
I'm wondering if he's expecting like the missile interceptor. There is always a bit of a like back and forth as to whether or not you want to try and just overwhelm it, but it's such a tricky play to make.
Yeah, absolutely. This is insane. And the oil's still around too, so these missiles are going to be insane, or the rockets rather. The Mustangs are going to have a big issue here. The balls are finally coming in, and the Rhino, which won the 1v1 there. We'll see if that can do anything. Maybe we can connect on this Scorpion. That would be very helpful. Oh, not quite.
Ooh, it's gonna connect back though. And well, left side is looking much better. And the Storms seem to be getting through this, but it's a close affair yet again.
Wow, yeah, one side wins for each player here.
Now, how are you going to fix the problem between Scorpions and Marksmen, though? Because you get heavily outranged, and even
Yeah,
against the Arclights, you don't really stand a chance in the long run. Is Siege Mode something you pick up? And if it is, when do you click it? Because if there's still steel balls on the board, that might be a problem.
yeah, those are good questions. I mean, I wonder if the melting point is something to discuss as well. Like, is that something you want to add to your comp?
Well, it's level 3, so it's beefy.
Could sell it, but yeah, do you just keep it? That's the question, I guess.
Is there ever like some sort of weird phantom play you could make as well? That's
Yeah,
kind of out there though.
I was wondering the same thing. I feel like you could, but yeah, maybe too high variance for these players. Both of them picking up elite marksman. Man, crazy.
I mean, Agri definitely has the advantage in terms of levels, although he doesn't have as many arclights on the board. Really only
Yeah,
has 3 high level ones and then 2 on the side that are just supportive, I guess.
yeah, for sure. Definitely giving a Grip Nakoma the edge there. Very curious to see how the Stormcallers will do. Like, will we see anything to counter them, or are we just gonna accept the fact that he's got these insane Stormcallers?
Looks like for now it's just going to be acceptance. Scion has sold his level 3 melter, whereas Agri seems to keep it on the board for now. We can see it on the right side. Is he
I think
just going
that.
to use that as a tank?
Yeah, good question. I do think it makes sense for Scion to not need it as much, considering Scorp is like pretty crazy single target with their techs like double shot, whereas Grip Nakoma, the other player needs it quite a bit more. M
We
speed
do
once
have missile
again.
intercept, by the way, which is this going to bite Agri back? I don't know. Level 3 Mustangs with improved, having to shoot down missiles feels kind of bad.
I don't know. I feel like that tech is so good, the missile interceptor. So I actually do like trying it here. Of course, yeah, you're killing your DPS a lot, but I feel like the storms are a really big commitment here.
Well, level 3 Melter there, tanking admirably. We'll even take down a level 2 Scorpion in the process, so I think that's good enough for Agri. In the meantime, these Mustangs, though, getting somewhat overwhelmed, and I think that's leaving space for the Arclights from Scion to do their thing.
Yeah, looks like it. The left side definitely punching through here for Scion. Gets the tower, gonna clean everything up, and that's quite a bit of damage. Definitely over 1,000. Okay.
I really don't think that missile intercept here has improved Agri's board. I think it's creating trouble for him because that Mustang was just shooting down missiles the whole round, and in the end, it just dies to arcs, and then the Stormcallers are freed up to simply start dealing damage again.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, maybe you just have to commit and buy 3 white ones, and then at least like you're diluting it, giving the Giga Mustang more time to fire.
Yeah, it's a tricky back and forth. But, I mean, look at that. 3k damage on the Mustang last round. That is not what you want to see.
Dang, that's actually a really good thing to point out. What the heck? How did that only deal 3,000?
It's been shooting down missiles.
That's crazy.
Well,
Wow.
big spell round. Oil coming out here for Agri, as well as the smoke picked up for both players.
Yep, Spell City, Bubble City. Don't think much is going to be coming through here. It'll sort of land like in the middle. Missile Strike just taking down some chaff. Still temp range, loaning here for Scion.
Stormcaller City as well. Triple Stormcaller pickup. You can see 3 more in the middle there from Scion. Oh, one of them being put on the left side vertically. Agri did go for double tech storms himself with the incendiary bomb in the range.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that's very, very good against the Fang shields and the
Yeah, and
oil, I
that's
suppose.
another issue maybe, right? Like Fang Shield got picked up last round, but the Mustangs are supposed to deal with that, but they're busy.
Yeah, for sure. This might be like a gut shot here for Grip Nakoma against Scion, because if this doesn't work, Scion can just make anti-missile devices and take down those Stormcallers with fire.
Yeah.
Oh, they're already there. There's how many there? One? Well,
Yeah, it seems like
that's
only the one on the
huge.
right side.
That's very valuable against the level 3 Stormcaller.
The fire did get ignited, but it's somewhat far forward, so I can still see some fangs kind of slowly waddling forward. And for now,
Yep.
these scorpions seem to be safe.
Yeah, you have to imagine here that the storms and the scorpions are going to get it done once again.
Yeah,
It's scaling so
scorpions
well.
tanking pretty well. Oh, I say
Oh,
that.
oh, oh.
Wait a second.
Just kidding. Is that game?
Oh, that is going to be game. Wow.
Oh
What a
man,
play from
Scion.
Agri.
Oh, that's crazy. Scion got defeated finally. He was looking invincible, but Agrippnocoma taking down the bounty, $40 richer, resetting that
What
win streak.
what turned it around there, though? I think some more marksmen have been picked up, and marksman range again does really contest the scorpions quite well. But was
Hmm.
it the fire on the right side?
Yeah, I
I
think it
think
was the
maybe.
fire. Like maybe the smoke was good too. I didn't really pay attention. Probably not,
Yeah.
right?
Well, the smoke was a bit of a problem there at the end, right? Like both of the scorpions were still alive, but both of them were just sitting in the smoke, unable to do anything. So that could have been part of it as well.
Yeah, okay. So just a bunch of ground effects, really. So a really nice move there. Man, if there was just like one or two more anti-missile devices for Scion, I bet if you analyze that replay, he's just like crushing.
Yeah, it's wild how this goes back and forth because it didn't seem like that much had changed, and well, Scion was victorious the round previous, and suddenly Agri clicks the right buttons, makes the right moves, and shows his experience in the long range fights, takes the win.